211. 211-0. That's the score. Score for what, you ask? 211 Republicans voted against releasing the full Epstein files. 211. Every single Democrat voted in favor of releasing the full Epstein files. 0 voted against it. 211 Republicans voted against releasing it. 0 Democrats voted against releasing it. I'm trying to say it as many times as I can for repetition, to try to reach stupid people who don't seem to grasp who the real pedophiles are. Because you guys want to try to pretend that trans people are pedophiles, even though there's literally no examples of that. Because if there were, I would have them all memorized, because it's all you would talk about. It's not drag queens. It's not trans people. It's your pastors and coaches and cops and MAGA dudes and deacons. That's who it is. Over and over and over. Who did Donald Trump just have in the White House not long ago for the kids' fitness test? Lawrence Taylor, a sex offender. A guy who molested a 16-year-old when he was like, he was born in 59. What is that? 30, I don't know, something like 64 years. I don't know how old he was when he did it, but you get the point. Donald Trump doesn't care. Donald Trump tried to elevate Matt Gaetz, who molested teenage girls before and after doing drugs with them and paying them to have sex with him, which is, rape. But I'm just saying he was also paying them. He was about to make him the most powerful law enforcement official in the United States. You think that guy's not a pedophile? The guy who, the first thing he did when his daddy died and left him money, he spent it on a child pageant. He was like, what should I do with all this money? I should start a teenage girl pageant or buy a teenage girl pageant. He has 28 allegations of sexual misconduct, including rape, including child rape. And they're not the deep state. They're not Nancy Pelosi, adrenochrome deep state fake news. They are recordings of women talking about their experiences, from being kissed without their permission to having their vaginas touched without their permission to shit that's way worse. There's also recordings of him talking about doing that to women, recordings of him bragging about sexually assaulting women. But it's not that you guys don't think it's true. You know it's true. You know it is. You're just a terrible person. You don't care that he sexually assaults women because you're a terrible human being. You always have been. And that's the hardest part for us, that we're having to learn. The other Americans, the real adults, the decent people, the hardest thing for us is seeing neighbors, friends, coworkers, and even family members that we always thought were decent, that we always thought had some sort of moral compass, that we always thought had some sort of virtues and ethics, realizing that you don't at all, realizing that you're indeed not a good person at all, that you will overlook literally anything this guy does. I mean, forget that he's shitting on the Constitution every single day. Forget that his masked hillbilly Proud Boys are just ripping kids out of their mother's arms while the mothers scream. They recently took a woman away from her breastfeeding child and put her in one of these internment camps for months, even though her husband is a U.S. Marine. And the husband was then driving the baby to the internment camp so the mother could breastfeed and pump. He was driving like 3 hours one way to see his wife so that she could breastfeed their child, because this rapist pedophile that you worship, even though you know he's a rapist pedophile, is ripping children away from their mothers, bombing boats with 11 people on them that he knows nothing about, calling it drug dealing, while pardoning massive drug dealers, huge, multi-million-dollar, massive drug dealers. Like the guy that started the Silk Road was facing life sentence. Gave Donald Trump $1 million, got out of jail. He has no morals. He stands for nothing. And if you're still worshiping him, you have no morals. You stand for nothing. You're a bad person. And I'm telling you, I don't give a shit if it makes you mad. I don't give a shit if you hear me or you listen or you think. I don't care. I don't expect you to become decent. I'm telling you that we see you. We see you. And we don't hate you. We're just disgusted by you. Because you're showing us unequivocally there is no bottom. There's no bottom. There's no red line for you. Nothing's off limits. You don't care about rape. You don't care about pedophilia. He's a pedophile. He was Jeffrey Epstein's best friend for 15 fucking years. There's dozens of pictures of them together. There's court documents of them being accused of child rape together as co-defendants. He had 14 phone numbers for Donald Trump in his little black book. They are hiding the Epstein files because Trump's all over him. He's a pedophile. You worship a pedophile, and nothing you say will ever change that. Nothing you do will ever change that. No amount of denial will ever change the fact that you worship a pedophile because you have no morals. You have no ethics, no virtue, no character, no integrity. You're a bad person. You're a bad person who belongs to a group of other bad people who all worship arguably the worst person on earth. J.D. Vance called him Hitler, called him a Nazi, and now he's his vice president because he has no character and no integrity. Marco Rubio, with his giant fucking Dumbo ears, called him a con man and said, we can never let this con man get reins on our government. Now he licks his boots every fucking day because he has no character and no integrity. None of these people do. They are spineless simpletons. And you idolize them because you are also a spineless simpleton. You're a moral fucking coward. You're a shit person. And if 100 of you come after me, it won't change that you're a shit person. If you get me taken off the internet, it won't change that you're a shit person. If you take over this country and send all the liberals to live on an island 1,000,000 miles away, it won't change that you are a shit person. You have no morals. You're done. Your soul has died inside your body. Maybe that's why your fucking breath stinks so bad. Go fuck yourself.